Today, I'm making bran muffins. Hi, welcome back to my pantry. Today, I've got a really great recipe for you. We're going to make bran muffins. Now I know, you're thinking bran muffins are ugh and dry. That's what I used to think too. But this recipe is gonna totally blow your mind. It is so good. Moist, delicious, best muffins, hands down. Now to get started, I have 2 boxes of cereal. We have bran flakes, just any kind of bran flakes, can be no brand, whatever, and shredded wheat. We want 2 cups of each one of those. I got this recipe quite a long time ago. If you don't have bran flakes, I think all bran would be the same thing. I think you would get the same outcomes. Now this is exactly 2 cups, so you just want one of these sleeves. I like to crunch it all up in the bag. And then to this, crunch that up a little bit more. To this, I'm going to add a half a cup of boiling water. That water's probably set a couple minutes too long. I had it boiling, but I'm just going to mix that in. You just want to soften it a little bit, so I'm going to mix that all in so that it's not a lot of water, but that's okay. You just mix it all in there, and you're going to get it damp. That's all you need, because we are going to add more liquid than just this. Now we're going to set this aside and let it sit for a while, and then we're going to grab another bowl, and this is where our wet ingredients, our oil, sugar, and that mix is going to go into. So let's get started with that. First thing we want is 1 cup of oil. You can use canola oil, you can use vegetable oil, as long as you get 1 cup of oil. And I'm betting you could even use coconut oil if you have that, or if that's your preference. Okay, and then you want 2 cups of sugar. This is a half cup measure, so. To this mix, I'm going to add 4 eggs. These are some farm fresh eggs from my sister's chickens. I love that we live close by so that I can get farm fresh eggs, because it definitely is our preference. My husband and I are going to have chickens hopefully this summer. We've been planning it for a while. It just hasn't been the right time yet, so. Alright, let's get that all mixed in. And then we're going to add our dry ingredients. Now I'm going to add 5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now measuring your flour is really important, because you don't want any more and you don't want any less. So I usually take a knife and I use the top part of the knife. I don't use the serrated part of the butter knife. I just use the top, because if you use the bottom part, you're going to get a scoop. So I use the top part, and that gives you a level 1 cup measure. And to this we're also going to add 2 teaspoons of salt, 5 teaspoons of baking soda, and again I am leveling these off as I pull them out. 3, 4, 5. And you want a half of baking powder. That was baking soda. I may have said powder with that other one, but that was soda and this is powder, so you want a half. Now let's mix all of this together. I love when a batter comes together. And the golden of the eggs mixing in with the flour. I find cooking just so soothing. I love it. So once we get that mixed, it's not going to mix in completely because we still have some more liquid to add into this. Now, what we want to do is we want to add all of this to our cereal. And to this, we are going to add a whole quart of buttermilk. And this is what's going to make our muffins so moist. It's going to take a strong arm to move this around. Look at all of that thick buttermilk.
You can certainly cut this recipe down by half if you'd like to. You don't need to do the full recipe. And another thing about this recipe is that it freezes really well. All you need to do is when you put your muffin liner into your muffin pan, you put your batter into the liner, and then once your muffin tin is filled, then put that directly into the freezer. Let your muffins harden. Once they're solid, then you can remove them from the muffin tins, put them into Ziploc bags, label them, and date them. Dates are so important. And leave them in your freezer until you're ready to use them. Once you're ready to use them, all you have to do is take them out, let them thaw, and they're ready to go.
As I said, this makes a lot of muffins. So I've lined this pan, and it's all going to go into the freezer. I'm not going to keep any of these ones out because it's just the two of us, so we don't eat that many muffins. Although I have been making these quite a bit and giving them away, and I probably still will give some to my father-in-law, but we are going to keep some in the freezer. And I fill these about 3/4 of the way, or better, full. They're pretty full, and I'm just going to set this whole pan right into the freezer and let it freeze. Once it's frozen solid, I'm going to take them out and put them in a gallon-sized Ziploc, and when I'm ready, I've got some muffins. Now this other pan, I have half lined and half greased. If you're not using liners, you definitely want to grease really well, or spray, whatever you're going to do, you want to grease those. These ones I'm giving to my father-in-law, and these ones we're going to keep here. So let's just get these filled.
These will make great mini muffins as well. If you'd like to bring them to a brunch or a shower, they'd be the perfect little snack.
To the top of these muffins, I'm going to add a mixture of brown sugar, pecans, and oats. You don't have to add this. This is just something that I like to add. It's always nice to have a little extra something on the top of your muffins, and this is just really, really good. I don't have a measurement for this. I just eyeball it. Whatever I want to put in there. A little bit of sugar, a little bit of oats, a little bit of pecans. You can switch the pecans out for slivered almonds, walnuts, whatever your preference is. Sometimes I add slivered almonds to this, and I don't have any today. I think the last time I made these, I had slivered almonds that were like sugared in honey, and I added those. That was really good. Okay. So I'm going to get this into a 375-degree oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. Muffins are done. I've removed them from the oven, and I'm about ready to remove them from their pans. Look how good they look. They're nice and golden, and the top looks so good. So let's get them on the racks to cool.
You can also use this batter in little mini loaf pans. You'd just have to change the cook time. It would stay in a little bit longer, but those would make really great gifts. Now I'm going to get you in really close. Can you smell them? They smell amazing. Well, these sure do smell good, and I can't wait to try one. So let's just recap a little bit. This recipe is for making jumbo muffins. You can make regular size muffins, but if you're making jumbo, it'll make 18 muffins. I have 6 in the freezer and I have 12 out. Some of which are going to my father-in-law, as I said before, some of which are staying here, and some of which are also going to a neighbor, and probably my sister, because we barter for the eggs. So, you know, try making these. These are really a delicious muffin. I've always been a little, I don't know, I never really wanted to make bran muffins because the idea in my head of bran muffins were very good for you in a very dry way, if that makes any sense. But these are so moist. Let me just show you here. I'm going to grab one of these muffins and I'm going to just open it up and show you inside. And just look at this. Look at the inside of this muffin. It is so good. I mean, it's just moist and delicious. I wish that you could like be here to see it. It's so good. And the topping, look at that crispiness and those pecans and the brown sugar. Oh my gosh, it just adds so much to them, and the little oat flakes. Didn't that look delicious? I can't wait to eat one. This might be my lunch today, actually. I have a few videos to do today. But like I said, this will make 18 jumbo. I'm not sure about regular size muffins. I usually always just make jumbo, but you can freeze them. I have 6 in the freezer, like I said. If you freeze them, you want to wait until after you've pulled them out of the freezer when you get ready to use them, and you can pull them out 1 at a time, 2 at a time, all of them, whatever you want to do. When you pull them out after they've thawed, then you want to put the topping on top. You want to just sprinkle it on there just before you put them in the oven. Put them in the oven. You're going to bake them at 375. They cook for about 25 minutes is exactly what I cooked mine on. But all ovens vary, so you want to just pay attention to them. Start checking them at about 20 minutes. Just put a toothpick through the middle or a cake tester or something like that, and as long as it comes out clean, they're done. And yeah, and then you get to enjoy it. It's best while it's hot, by the way, and I know that from experience. And if you've not subscribed, you can do that below and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from, and let me know if you try these muffins. I hope you do. Thank you for joining me here at Mimi's Pantry.